I'm Mary. Standing in the grand ballroom of the Hilton, I watched as my brother, Ethan, stood there in shock, his face as white as a sheet. The room was deathly silent, and all eyes were on us. Just moments ago, my assistant, Alex, had revealed my true identity as the chairman of Orion Investments, the majority shareholder of our family's company, Crest Industries. Ethan had been gloating about his promotion to vice president of operations, mocking me along the way. He thought I was a failure, someone who couldn't make it in the business world. Little did he know that I'd been the one pulling the strings behind the scenes. As I looked around at the stunned faces of my family and colleagues, I couldn't help but think back to how it all began. 5 years ago, I was just Mary, the quiet younger sister who worked in the marketing department of Crest Industries. I was constantly overshadowed by Ethan, who was my parents' golden child. They always supported his every move, while dismissing my business ideas as unrealistic. One day, I came up with a detailed plan to modernize Crest Industries' technology infrastructure. I presented it at a board meeting, hoping to make a difference. But Ethan laughed at me, saying, "Leave the big decisions to the real business people. Why don't you stick to making pretty presentations?" My father, the CEO of Crest Industries, just shrugged and said, "Ethan has more experience in these matters." That night, I made a decision. I took my entire inheritance, which was much smaller than Ethan's, and started investing in small tech companies with great potential. I saw something that my family didn't, the future of the tech industry. I nurtured these companies, and over time, my investments grew exponentially. Within 2 years, Orion Investments was born. 3 years later, we became a major player in the tech investment world. By the 4th year, I had secretly gained control of Crest Industries through a series of quiet stock purchases. But to my family, I was still just Mary, the failure. They had no idea that I was the powerful chairman of Orion Investments, making all the major decisions that saved Crest Industries millions. The week before Ethan's promotion party, I sat through a board meeting via video conference. My camera was off, and my voice was disguised. One board member questioned Ethan's promotion, saying it was unusual for someone so young to hold such a high position. But my CEO, Alex, who knew my true identity, said, "The chairman has approved it. That's all that matters." I had created this position for Ethan on purpose. I wanted him to show his true colors, his arrogance, and poor decision-making. I knew it would only be a matter of time before everyone saw the truth. The night of the promotion party arrived. I chose a simple black dress, not wanting to stand out. I just wanted to watch Ethan's world crumble. When I arrived at the ballroom, my mother was the first to spot me. She gave me a half-hearted compliment, clearly looking down on my simple appearance. Ethan, already drunk on success and champagne, started mocking me in front of everyone. He said he'd tried to get me a job in the mailroom, but Dad thought it would be too hard for me. The guests around us chuckled, and my mother gave an awkward laugh. Just then, Alex walked into the ballroom. He found me and gave me a slight nod. Then he walked over to Ethan and congratulated him on the promotion. But when he turned to me and said, "Chairman, I didn't expect you here tonight," the room went silent. Ethan's smug grin froze, and my mother's champagne glass stopped halfway to her lips. Alex pulled out his phone and showed a company document, revealing my identity as the founder and chairman of Orion Investments and the majority shareholder of Crest Industries. Ethan refused to believe it. He called it a joke and said I was nothing. But I pulled out my phone and showed an email announcing the elimination of his position as VP of Operations. All related responsibilities would be reassigned to the executive management team. My father pushed through the crowd, looking confused and shocked. Alex introduced me to him, and my father's face went through a series of expressions: confusion, disbelief, and finally, fear. I explained to them that every major decision that saved the company was my strategy. The technology modernization plan that Ethan had laughed at 5 years ago was implemented by Orion Investments, and it had tripled our market share. My mother finally found her voice and asked why I'd never said anything. I told her I remembered all those family dinners where they talked about Ethan's success while dismissing my work. Ethan was furious. He accused me of planning this to humiliate him. but I told him he'd humiliated himself. I said we'd discuss his new position on Monday, and there was an opening in the mailroom, just like he'd suggested for me. I then walked to the center of the room and announced that starting Monday, Crest Industries would be merging with Orion Investments' tech division. We'd be modernizing our infrastructure and eliminating some redundant positions. Those affected would receive generous severance packages or could apply for new positions based on merit. The room erupted in murmurs. Ethan stormed out, shoving past guests, and his wife followed him, shooting me a dirty look. Alex asked if he should announce the organizational changes, and I said no. We'd disrupted the party enough. After the party, my father approached me. He asked why I'd kept it all a secret. I asked him if he would have believed me or given me the same chances as Ethan. He had no answer. In the following weeks, I restructured Crest Industries from top to bottom. Ethan was offered a minor position in regional sales, but his pride wouldn't let him accept it. He quit and tried to take some clients with him, but they all stayed with us. My father, to my surprise, accepted the changes gracefully. He even asked to see the original technology modernization plan. He admitted it was brilliant and said they'd been fools not to see it. 3 months after the party, I called my first in-person board meeting as chairman. The same people who had dismissed my ideas years ago now listened attentively to every word I said. Ethan's old allies had either left or fallen in line. My father told me that Ethan was demanding he choose between us. He said he loved Ethan but also respected me as the chairman. He told Ethan that success was earned, not handed down. That evening, as I worked late in my office, Alex brought in a package. Inside was a framed newspaper article from 5 years ago announcing Ethan's promotion to department head. Scrawled across it in my father's handwriting were the words, "I was wrong about which child would make me proud." I hung it on my wall as a reminder that sometimes the greatest success comes from proving yourself right, not just proving others wrong. Ethan never accepted his new reality. Last I heard, he was trying to start his own company, relying on the family name. But the business world had changed, and he didn't have the innovation, vision, or work ethic to succeed. As for me, I finally moved my office to the top floor of Crest Industries headquarters. My name was on the building not because of my family name, but because I'd earned it. Sometimes at night, I look out over the city and think about that promotion party. I think about Ethan's sneer and the shock on his face when he learned the truth. But mostly, I think about the lesson I learned. Success often works quietly, building something extraordinary while others aren't paying attention.